All right, we'll just get this camera up here. Boom. All right, fit check. Lean, always. Watch my videos from 2008 onwards to today, 2025. One thing, I'm always slim, always lean. Varying levels of fitness. Boom, boom, boom. Airplane overhead, near the airport. Excuse the noise. Why do most vegans get fat? Someone said, Harley, most vegans I know are fat. Well, let's talk about that. I would say I disagree on that one. But let's just, if you're a fat vegan or if you want to avoid being a fat vegan, listen up. I'll tell you exactly how to avoid that. There's this whole thing, like when you go vegan or vegetarian, people are, what about your protein, bro? What about protein? What do you do for protein? Like, where do you get your protein from, mate? People get up in your face and like, what about protein, bro? Where do you get your protein from, bro? Where do you get your protein from, bro? I've been vegan since 2001 is when I started, the full vegan thing. And I'm like, no one's ever lifted up their shirt and go, oh, where do you get your protein from, bro? Look at me, no one's ever done that. I'll do that to them. Oh, well, looks like it's working for me. I'm ripped and feeling super fit. I'm okay. And let's do a running race. Let's do a bike ride. Let's talk about protein at the top of the hill. No one's ever done that. And the people who do beat me at the top of the hill, they're also eating a low protein diet. So go figure. Anyway, so what happens is we get this protein thing going on. Oh, gotta have protein. Protein with protein. And just mix some protein, combine protein, amino acids, and branch, and all this nonsense, man. Picking out boogers and eating them for protein. And so what happens is people think they're going to have protein deficiency because they're eating animals and fish and dogs and cats and rats and cows. And so they're like, all this protein, they're chugging all this protein. And I'm like, how heavy are you trying to get? I'm not trying to get heavy, I'm trying to lose weight. I'm like, well, then why eat so much protein? Oh, well, what about protein, bro? I was like, okay, so, and that's why people can get fat, is because they start skipping, and then they skip carbohydrate, and then load up on protein. And then generally the protein comes more fats. You've got to have more peanuts and more oils and more avocados and all this fatty stuff. And whilst that can be okay if you're underweight, if you're trying to lose weight, I don't recommend eating those things. I mean, if you have them a few times a year, okay, cool, but I wouldn't even call them a treat. I've eaten all those foods, but I do feel my best on a super low fat, low protein, high carbohydrate vegan diet based on fruits, white rice, starches, sugars, okay? Sugary drinks, water, things like that. You watch my videos on what I eat. Read my ebooks, durianrider.com. Best info out there. Guaranteed you're gonna get lean. You get my ebooks, you read them, take action on that, guaranteed you're gonna be super slim, super lean, and feel your best ever, perform your best ever. So people get this protein craze, and then they pound all this protein in. I'm gonna get enough protein. And I'm like, whack! How heavy are you trying to get? If you're trying to get heavy, yeah, pound the protein, pound the fat. If you want to be like just a big freaking strong man, just a big gut, just big arms and big legs, and you just want to staunch people, then yeah, then smash the protein, smash the fat. I'm not sure much longer it's gonna make you live. Probably not longer. But yeah, if you want to get heavier, then turn off the video now and just pound the protein, pound the fat, and eat enough carbs, But if you want to be super lean, then focus your diet on almost pure carbohydrate and focus it on fruit, rice, sugar, and you'll get enough protein, right? There's enough protein in rice, there's enough protein in the fruit, okay? Minimal yet sufficient. Most people, they're trying to lose weight. 99.99% of people that come to me, they're trying to get leaner and more vascular and slimmer. Girls are trying to get a smaller waist. I haven't had a girl go, Harley, my waist's too thin. I want to get a big, blubby, lubby waist. They need more fat and protein, girls. So, yeah, people coming to me for weight loss. So that's why I push the low protein message, low fat message. And so that's why a lot of vegans can get fat. That's what makes vegans fat, is this protein obsession. And they just, they put protein in powder into smoothies and stuff. I see girls doing it. I'm like, if you're trying to look like Joe Rogan, then yeah, okay, it's a good plan to do. But most girls, I don't know, aren't trying to look like Joe Rogan. If you are, that's fine. I'm not here to judge like that. But what are you doing? Why the protein fixation? Because that's just what's put out there. Because that's what sells, okay? That's why people, even if you go to Asia or whatever and you tell them they don't eat meat, oh, you're Buddhist. No, I'm not a Buddhist, but that's pretty cool stuff. Oh, so what about protein? They even ask, what about protein? All right? They even ask, what about protein? Yeah, so it's indoctrinated in. And I'm like, well, I won the running race, didn't I? How could I run so fast, ride so fast, almost 50, okay, without enough protein? Even as a natty rider, whatever, always up there, okay? especially in running 5K, with minimal training. How does that work? How do the world's fastest runners do it on such a low protein intake? You know, they're rail thin, Kipchoge and co, rail thin on a low protein diet, running low 2 hour marathons, it's insanely fast, sprinting for 42 Ks, 42.2. So it's just, the strength to run at that speed is based on carbohydrate. Even the powerlifters, high carb to in certain bodyweight classes. I just don't get it. This fixation I do get it because it's money. Industry fuels that. Rice is cheap, sugar's cheap, fruit's relatively cheap. But animal products, protein stuff, we can sell that for more because we glorify it, okay? Just like freaking Rolex watches. Why does someone spend that much on a freaking watch? It just tells the time. A $2 watch does the same shit, all right? You can get a $2 waterproof watch does the same shit as this. Because it's just the hype, man, the fucking hype and the status. When you wear this, people treat you differently. I think it's dumb, but it's just uniform I rock because, when you walk into a restaurant and people see your watch and you asking for vegan stuff, they're like, oh, wow, it's just, fuck. I don't make the rules, I just play the game. Whatever it takes to get the message out there. So yeah, that's just the deal, man. So if you want to avoid becoming a fat vegan, then do my protocols. Because nobody who does my protocols ever gets fat. All right? And if you're fat to start with, you're gonna get freaking super lean, super slim. And even if you're suffering with adaptive thermogenesis, you're going to hit a ceiling that you hit a healthy weight. You don't hit a fat weight. So many people recover from anorexia and they get fat. And it's like, ooh, you need to get fat. Just get healthy, okay? So if you're suffering out there with anorexia or eating disorders, etc., which is very, very common in the vegan world. A lot of people come to the vegan world or raw food world to mask eating disorders. It's out there, or disordered eating. And, I get it. And me coming from a sport like cycling, running, where you want to perform better because you want that clout and you want to just feels good to win or be up there, to mix it up. Then you start to play with your diet. And so it could be a slippery slope between eating disorder and disordered eating. Disordered eating where you just sort of slip into something, you don't even know what's going on. Well, that was silly. Disordered eating is, eating disorder is more of a mental health thing. So both can be devastating on your performances. So if you're suffering from any of those things, then just choose my protocols and you'll be free of that for life. It'll just help you create that slim, healthy, fit body that looks the best. It looks the best, and you feel the best. You perform the best. Being so anorexic that you can't perform, that's not good. That's not good at all. So that's the deal. Performance, people. Performance. That's what we're looking for. The world needs more performance to help the planet, to help the environment. We've got enough floundering, flaky people on the planet. We don't need it anymore. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to stop being a fat vegan or prevent that, then just do my protocols, gang. Okay? And it's so much cheaper. Oh, it's so much cheaper. I'm going to a restaurant, spend $2 or $1 and get absolutely full on rice, sugar, soy sauce. That's so boring. My life is my entertainment. Food's not my entertainment. Food for me is not excitement. All right? This food's boring. Okay? If your food's boring, then that means your life needs an update, bro. Okay? You need to get some purpose in your life and some contribution. I'm too busy contributing and fixing stuff to rely on food as entertainment. I can eat whatever I want. Okay? Whatever I want. And whatever I want to eat is very, very basic, bland food. Most people say, it's boring. But then people look at my life, that's where it's at. People might say, oh, Harley, you look old. You look old, Harley. Yeah, I'm approaching 50. I'm Caucasian, Aussie redneck bogan. Yeah, whatever, I'll take that. But I live more in a day than most people live in a year. All right? Most people are just stuck in this grind, this rat race, doing stuff for other people that don't even really believe in or like or whatever. Every minute of the day, I'm doing exactly what I want to do, okay? So I get to have more experiences than, I'm not boasting, or maybe I am, but, So yeah, when you live in hardcore full speed, yeah, you're probably going to look a bit older, but you're going to have a lot more fun and have a lot more memories, okay? I sometimes just sit back and lay back in bed and just think, man, that was fucking wild, that was crazy, you know what I mean? But I couldn't do that if I was all fatted out and high on drugs and forgetting shit, okay? Being carved up, really, I eat every day like it's a marathon. I'm ready for like a marathon today, every day. Mentally, physically, glycogen, hydration wise. I pre-hydrate, I pre-carb, I get my sleeps. Every day I'm ready to do a marathon. I haven't ran a marathon for 11 years. Every day I eat and prepare like I'm doing a marathon, but I haven't ran a marathon, I think, since 2014. So go figure. So, yeah. Avoid the fat vegan phase. You don't have to do that. And I don't think it helps the vegan movement. I know that I kickstarted this whole vegan social media thing, 2008 onwards. People see me eating, being lean, and living this life, and go, I want that. And then other influencers will come on. I'll create influencers. If you know, you know. And every single one of those influencers came to me because they were weight loss motivated. Okay, Freely, all the crew. Okay, and then I got Freely on board and coached her up. And she, got really amazing results and still does. And then she inspired this whole generation of young women to carry on as well. So it spreads the message, man. Because even back in the day when I was a bike racer, which I still am today, I love to race. I love that competitive feeling. It feels good, pushing the watts and just getting that lung pump. I remember in the bike racing back in the day and seeing, fat cyclists and thinking, dude, you ride a bike, you do 500 Ks a week and you're still fat, what are you eating? And they're like, I avoid carbs, I eat bacon. I'm like, you avoid carbs? I'll be like, is this person dumb or something? You avoid carbs and you're like, what the, And so I was exposed to what caused fat people in the 90s when I first got into the long distance cycling and talked to other cyclists. And I'd be like, this person could ride 400 Ks a day. They can do an Ord hacks, 400 Ks, and this big belly. And I'm like, what? You can ride further than me and you got a fat gut and I'll drop you on the climb. What's going on here? And it's like they just eat so much fat. So it's crazy. So I learned that in the 90s. And then so when I met women who were trying to lose weight, I'm like, we'll just eat like a cyclist, a proper cyclist, a lean cyclist, high carb, low fat, low protein. And so women started doing that. Started coaching up my friend Nicole in 96. She lost all this weight, looked amazing. And we just put her on a low fat, low protein diet, high carb, And looking back, I didn't know what vegan really was back then, but it was mostly a vegan diet, just blacks. So, yeah, very, very minimal animal products. And then that started from there. And so 1996, when I really got into coaching people weight loss, and it fixated from there onwards. Because I saw what happened to my friend Nicole, the weight she lost and how much better she looked and felt. And she wasn't starving, she was carving up. And went from there. So that's, so 1996, so where are we at? So how many years is that? Is that really 29 years? That's crazy. 29 years coaching people for weight loss. Fuck, time goes fast. So that's why I can speak with such conviction. I can rant and ramble and rave on, is because my stuff is based on experience, based on results, and it's just conviction, man. People come and go, they're trends and they're flipping a flop. I've had this hat since 2011. I won this hat in a running race in New York, okay? First place overall. Then I got stitched up in Bangkok. 2011, still wearing the same freaking hat. 2025, 14 years later. Same hat, same message, carb the fuck up, get it done. Stop floundering in life, stop eating like a pussy, okay? Carb up, get it done. The best girls out there, the ones who've got the energy to give and get it done, stay more stable. The best guys out there, the ones who've got energy to give it done, and stay, non-violent and get it fucking done, man. Energy, be entertaining and be fun and be grounded. Can't do that when you're undercarb. You become all space cadet. We've got enough space cadets out there, right? We've got enough. Call me crazy, but I think we've got enough obesity out there. We need more vegans out there who are fit and athletic and get it done, because that's what inspires people, all right? So skip the protein, skip the fat, carb the fuck up, and get it done.